sock type. Funny.
Introducing Passport Bros, your ultimate travel companion. Download the app for free and embark on a journey where your adventures not only become unforgettable memories, but also opportunities to earn. With Passport Bros, your travel content is more than just photos and videos. It's your ticket to a fully monetizable network of like-minded adventurers. Imagine making money from your travel stories. Post videos, share your experiences, and let the world be a part of your journey. But that's not all. Connect with travelers from around the globe, join co-ed groups, and make lasting friendships, perhaps even with foreign women who share your passion for exploration. And here's the best part. Store your earnings securely in your Passport Bros wallet. No hassle, no worries. Just seamless transactions wherever your travels take you. Looking for the best local experiences? Passport Bros has got you covered. Get personalized recommendations for tour guides, rentals, and the hottest clubs in town. Did we mention the app is absolutely free to download? That's right. Your passport to a world of adventure is just a click away. And here's the cherry on top. With Passport Bros, you can make money while exploring new places. Turn your passion for travel into a source of income, right from your mobile device. So what are you waiting for? Download Passport Bros now, share your journey, connect with fellow explorers, and let the adventure begin.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
An American. Is an American? Yeah. I did it in the past.
I beg your pardon?
And I actually like it. I love it because Americans are very different than Colombians. They are always like, they appreciate you a lot. They tell you that you're looking beautiful because maybe in US, the girls don't get ready like a lot like us. You don't have that bitch.
Bruh.
You hate it. You can't do it the best. So for me, it's like very nice that a guy appreciate you all the time. So that's very cool. I like it. It's very nice. And in Colombia, we love foreigners. Everything different is very nice.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
Okay, guys, we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. It is your man BMT in the building. Let me make sure I got my audio together. Hold on one second. Much better, much better. And we got a hell of a show for you guys today, man. I got my man Omar. I'm gonna bring him on in a moment, talking about his experiences in Colombia and why he chose to still stay in Colombia. Now, Omar's living in Latin America off and on for quite some time now, and he has a lot of things to say about being an expat in Latin America in general, including the DR and in Colombia. He's going to also talk about some of his bad experiences in Colombia as well, man. So we got a hell of a show lined up. I want to welcome everybody in the building. I got Toronto and Brad in the building. I see guys in the building early. Let me turn this music down real quick for the fam, and I'm going to go ahead and bring my brother Omar on. All right, go ahead and turn this mic down just a tad bit. All right, Omar.
Salute.
Senor El Flaco in the building. What's good with you, my brother?
It's all good. All good in the hood.
All good in the hood. Okay, so what hood are you in currently?
Right now, I'm in Santo Domingo.
Okay, so for those that don't know, this is Santo Domingo, Colombia, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So tell us a little bit before we get into all your story. Just tell us a little bit about Santo Domingo, Colombia, because this is the first time I ever heard of Santo Domingo, Colombia. So tell us a little bit about that real quick.
Okay. Well, you mean how I got here or the history of Santo Domingo?
Oh, not that you not go to the history, just like how is it? Is it safe? Is it nice? How far is it from Medellin?
Okay. Well, it's approximately, if you take the train, it's approximately, I would say maybe 40 minutes to the El Centro.
40 minutes, okay.
Yeah, 40 minutes to El Centro, maybe an hour and a half to Poblado.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're a little bit off the beaten path to a certain degree. Is it like a I want to say is it like more of a city kind of like like urban landscape is what I mean?
Well, where I'm at right now, it's almost like the frontier where nature, where the city ends and nature begins. So I'm right on the border.
Okay.
Like right, yeah. And I like it because right behind the house where I'm at is a big mountain. And I've done horseback riding right up the mountain to, where Parque RV, I think it is called? RV?
I don't know where that's at. Nothing.
Okay. But there's a popular park called Parque RV that, it's one of the tourist places. So I'm right, very close to it.
Okay. And in general, is this would you consider this to be a safe area? Like what strata is it in?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure the stratas because I'm not too familiar. Okay, the way I got here was a girlfriend of mine was living here. And she invited me to her house. And, I just dig the area. And I felt like it was cheap, because I was here for, the long haul. So I was like, I could save money, living a little bit, in a cheaper neighborhood.
Okay.
I find it that it's very quiet. I had no problems. A couple of little skirmishes, with, a guy. So, but other than that, I don't go around telling people I'm American. That's one thing I don't do, because I know that, Colombia got a history of kidnapping and things like that. So when the people ask me where I'm from, I'll tell them I'm Jamaican. I'm just coming here to find work. I tell them that all the time.
Okay. And would you consider that area to be, pretty safe? I know it's been safe for you for the most part, but do you hear any bad things going on out there?
Well, it's safe until it's not safe. That's all of Colombia. It's good. You could be in Poblado. It's good until it's not good. And then, I was in Setenta when I first came here. I was in a hotel in Setenta, and I was walking up the street, and it was a armed robbery right off the path, right off the. Well, you have the main street with the strips and all the clubs and all of that, and then you have these the side streets, and some of them have like little businesses there, right? And those streets are so dangerous because those where the criminals are waiting for you just to make your turn and rob you.
Yeah, I got ran up on La Setenta too, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I seen a robbery right there. And I
You
guess
know.
the guys, they beat him down because they got the gun away from him. They tore his bike up, you know. And I'm like, that's when I realized that none of Colombia is safe. None of it, you know. Anything could go off at any time.
So you don't think in like the stratas of let's say 5 and 6, where the more the wealthy people Colombians stay, you don't think it's a little safer out there?
Maybe, maybe a little safer. Um, for me, I blend in. So far, so good. You know,
Okay.
so I don't have the normal fears that maybe somebody who stays in, you know, I've been from the hood all my life, you know, so
Okay.
I was never, I just don't have certain fears that other people have. Doesn't exist with me, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I definitely understand that. Guys, that grew up in these, bad areas and inner cities. I mean, you have certain intuitions and kind of codes, that you abide by, and you can see things more so than, let's say, guys who didn't grow up in bad neighborhoods. Because a bad neighborhood is a bad neighborhood, no matter where you're at on the planet. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like, it's one thing about a bad area. It's the mentality of the people within that area.
Hmm.
And once you recognize and understand the mentality of taking something from somebody because you don't have anything, you can move accordingly. Because I
Okay.
think some guys in this space think if I'm cool, then I won't get robbed. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like if
Hmm.
I'm like swagged out, I got a chain. I can walk my chain out here. That type of stuff. They thinking like it won't happen to me, but we know it
Hmm.
happened to us. So because we know it happened to us, we move a little
Yeah,
bit differently.
exactly. And like I said, that's why I don't tell them I'm American. I try to,
Oh,
some people they know it. They'll come up to me and say, "Hey, American," and they know it. Maybe other people told them, like people who I know. Like I tell like certain people that I'm American, like people I'm close with. But I tell them, don't tell other people, And I think that's how the word gets out a little bit. But for the most part, when people come up to me and they're asking me questions, and I'm sensing what they about, They want to know like this one guy I was on a motorcycle with. He wanted to know how long I'm gonna be here. He was asking too many questions. So I was telling him I'm a Jamaican, you know. I came here for work, just to so because I know he's peeping and I know how the gangs are. So I'm aware also. I'm not just walking around, not knowing my environment.
Okay, I want to give a shout to my man Andre from Love Crossing Borders, man. I said, let's go. Shout my man Andre. I got you at your wife's house all day in the building as well. Always good to see my man Brandon Clark in the building. Stocks and Passports. He's one of the admins in the Passport Bros Facebook group. Guys, make sure to join the original Passport Bros Facebook group and also download the Passport Bros app that is free as well. The real content is actually on the Passport Bros app. That's where you actually see legitimate Passport Bros traveling the world and supporting each other and giving each other great information, also tipping each other. All right. So make sure you download that Passport Bros app. I want to also welcome my man, it's Dre the Kid in the building. He's also on the app and an admin in the Facebook group. I got to give you guys a shout out real quick. And also my man Style King is in the building. All right. So let's go back. Let's go back before we get into the gist of the interview, man, real quick. Can you give us a little bit of your background? You don't got to get to specifics unless you want to get to specifics,
Sure,
like what got you traveling and all that good stuff. What got you
sure.
from South America and all that.
Okay. When I was in college, I went to Howard University,
Shout out to Howard.
and yeah, and I was close with this one of my friends, right? And I was at his house, and he was telling me his trip to Colombia,
Mm-hmm.
and I was fascinated with his story, and he was telling me about the women uh, and in Washington D.C. there's a big I think El Salvador. There was a lot of El Salvadoran women, and it was just intriguing to me because I have never left. I think the only I never left the country. I mean, the only place I went to was like Canada, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
only. So I was intrigued about going to Cuba. So that's where I wanted to go, and I told my uh, um, my this is my father's brother, my uncle. All right, I told my uncle I'm going to Cuba, and he was like, you know, you can't go to Cuba, you know. And I was like, man, I want to go to Cuba. So he said, if you go anywhere, go to Dominican Republic, right? And I had this guy from, I think he's from Trinidad, and he was telling me, you can go anywhere you want to go, but don't go to Dominican Republic. And he kept on warning me not to go there. He said, they don't think they're black. Don't go to Dominican Republic, right? And this is before social media, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know nothing about Dominican Republic, you know. I mean, this is maybe 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I'm 50. I'm 52 right now. So it was no social media. The only thing I knew about Dominican Republic was some Dominicans that I knew, like that was on the block and things like that. But I know nothing about Dominican Republic. So I was like, okay, I'll go to Dominican Republic, and then from Dominican Republic, it's kind of close to Cuba. Then I'll go to Cuba, right? So that's what that was my mindset. So when I went to Dominican Republic, it was just a crazy experience. That's all.
Okay. So you enjoyed it. You enjoyed the DR, and that's what led you to Colombia.
Well, the first time I went to the DR, right, within 20 minutes I was arrested. It's a crazy story.
Okay.
Within 20 minutes. So I went to the DR. I got on into the taxi. Everybody. Okay, so I don't know if you ever experienced this from the DR. When you come out, you see a crowd of people.
Yeah.
And they're lined up. That freaked the crap out of me, because I never seen nothing like that, right? And you know, I didn't know any Spanish, so I'm walking out and I'm seeing these people, and they're just like it just seemed like a lot of commotion, right? And I wanted to run back into the plane, like I was like freaked out about that whole scenario. You know, my first time out of the country, you know. And I ended up getting into a taxi, and I was like, I didn't know where I was going. You know, there was no reference of anything. There was no YouTube influencers telling me about DR. I didn't know where to go. So I just it's like, you know, I travel blindly, right? So I got in the taxi, and I tell him, just take me somewhere. And he took me to a place called Boca Chica, the taxi.
Okay, near me.
And he charged me like $30. That's the first time I felt like I got ripped off. It's only like a 20-minute ride. I'm like, how is it $30? You know?
From the airport, right? The Boca Chica?
Yeah, from the airport. Yeah.
Okay.
So I went into the hotel, put my bags in, and I immediately went to the beach because it's right by the beach. So I was like, yeah, I want to explore. I'm in a country I don't know anything about. So I walked to the beach, and then I was like, I need to thank God that I made it here alive. You know, I made it here, right? So I started praying on the beach. And then maybe like 10 minutes or 15 minutes later, two guys in black suits, like Men in Black, came up to me and was like, oh, you have to come with us. And they took me to the jail cell. It was crazy.
For what? For just praying on the beach?
Well, if you know anything about the Dominican Republic, the culture, especially where it comes to the laws and the policing, if they don't understand something, they'll arrest you and then figure it out later. And that's, you know, and I noticed something when those two cops came towards me, all the kids that was on the beach, they started running. And I'm like, why are they running? I'm the only one that's not running. And that's when they got me. It's crazy.
Oh, so what ended up being the reason they said they arrest you for?
They were just making up. They wasn't really telling me. You know. And then when I got to the police station, the guy was like, okay, so why are you here? I was like, I don't know. And he just told me to leave. So that's how that whole thing started. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the major adjustments you have to make. I tell people all the time, like, it's nothing like America you know, in the first world policing versus these other countries, because it's totally different.
Yeah,
Totally different.
yeah.
And in some cases, there's some benefits. You know, you can get away with a whole lot more stuff. You know, because like I say, matter of fact, a friend of mine was in Brazil, and he happened to be hanging with some other tourists, and he didn't know that those guys had like coca on them and all these hard drugs on them. And when the Brazilian police pulled them over and started searching, the guy started freaking out. I think it was the Indian guy and the white guy, and he's like the only brother in the car. They started freaking out, but he had already been to Brazil. He already knew the game. And the Brazilian police was like, hey, you know, he thought running the game on you, hey, you're going to go to jail. You might go 5 years. They start crying. And the Brazilian police was like, hey, I got 300 ways that we can get rid of this problem. And my boy put out basically $200 and gave it to him and let him. Of course, the Brazilian police took the drugs and everything, but they let him go about their way. In America, your ass going to jail if you get caught with drugs, right? So
Yeah.
That's one of the things, most definitely. But let's fast forward a little bit, man, because you got some stuff, some other things that have went down. Let's go ahead and talk about the incident that happened the first time when you was drugged.
Oh, okay. Okay. So basically, I knew this girl that I you know that her and her family they was staying in Medellin. Then they moved to I think they moved to another city. They moved to I'm trying to think the name of the city. It's on the other side. It's like 14 hours away. Right. So they you know, so they left. And then I went over there and visited them, you know, for like a month. And then I came back to Medellin. And the girl ended up maybe 6 months later, I seen her in Medellin. And she pretended to be all happy to see me and everything. But later on, she had a boyfriend, and they both planned to drug me and rob me. Yeah, so.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I might have missed it. How long did you know this girl?
Not long. Like they were selling like candy and different things. I think they had like a little bar that they're selling candy, fruit. Drinks and things like that. So, excuse me.
Okay.
Hola. Buenas.
Okay.
Bien. So, he's gonna put up the hot water, the shower.
Okay.
All right. I got my money on my bed, so I gotta move it. Hold on.
No problem, my bro. All right, well, you do that. Let me catch the super chat, my man. Love Crossing Borders with a $10 super chat. Why do we move to the other countries just to live in the hoods and in fear? I've stayed in over 20 major cities and towns in 6 years. Never an issue. I don't do hoods or P4P areas. Colombia is not Medellin. Shout out to my love. Shout out to my brother Love. Andre of Love Crossing Borders Live. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate the $10 super chat, my brother. Appreciate that. All right.
Okay. I'm sorry for the interruption. I'm back.
No, you good. You good, my man.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so what I was saying. Okay, so so her mother and their family they were selling things on they had drinks and different things they were selling. So I got acquainted to, talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I met her. Yeah. So
so you knew where she worked at and everything.
Go ahead.
No, so you knew where she worked at and everything. Because usually when you know where they work at, that's kind of like, you don't think they would try you like that.
But then they moved to another area.
Oh,
right? So she drugged me when she came back. And she came back by herself. So I was more like, I'll do whatever for her, I'll hook her up, because she was here by herself, So
so her family left and then they came back. She came back by herself.
She came back by herself, yeah.
Okay.
And she had a boyfriend, and I knew she had a boyfriend. And one day she came to me. I was in my hotel. She came to me, and she was like, She was like, my boyfriend beat on me. I just need to get out of here. I want to get a hotel, right? So I was like, okay, I was gonna help her out, and I
Mhm.
went with her and her friend. She had a friend with her, and first we went to her friend's house. I met her mother and everything,
Damn.
right? And yeah, I know, right? And then I don't think that her friend knew about it because when I confronted her later, she said I really didn't know what was going on. So I'm not really sure if she knew or not. Didn't know or anything. So, um, we ended up buying certain things, some drinks like orange juice and stuff, because I don't
Mhm.
drink. And when I got them the hotel, she handed me one of the orange juice, and she put some scopolamine in it, and I didn't know. So
Damn.
from there, I was knocked out.
So y'all went to her hotel to
Well, I got her a hotel.
oh, you
I
got
went,
her hotel.
yeah, because her boyfriend. This is what she said. Her boyfriend would beat her on her, and she
Uh-huh.
needed a place to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was trying
Damn.
to help her.
And you gave her a hotel and then she
And then she drugged me. The last thing I expected, because you have to realize I stayed with her family for like a month, right?
previously
And
you stayed with her family
yeah,
for a month.
and she was always giving me food and stuff. So I'm not questioning that she's gonna drug me.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So you stayed with her for a month
Hmm.
with her and her mom,
Yeah,
right? And
yep.
she still had a boyfriend this whole time.
She didn't have a boyfriend at that time. She was just
Okay.
with her family. It was just her family.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was it like your girlfriend, your partner, you was doing your thing with her, right?
No, no, I wasn't messing with her. I wanted to, but I just never got a chance to.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
you was kind of more like a family friend, basically.
basically more like that, more like a family friend. Yeah.
Okay. And then they moved to, I guess, wherever for a while, and they come back to Medellin.
She came back to Medellin by herself.
Okay.
Her
And
family
then
was still in. I'm trying to think of the name of the place,
mm,
but it's close to Venezuela, like one of the border towns.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So take us back to the hotel room. So you just in there chilling, relaxing, and she
Yeah,
hands you some OJ, and you drink the orange juice.
I drink the orange juice, and then she asked me how am I feeling. That's the last thing I remember.
Damn.
I just remember
So
her
she said,
saying, "How am I feeling?" I'm like, "I'm
"Como,
I'm
como,
okay."
como, como te sientes, Omar?" That's what she probably said, right? How do you feel, Omar?
Yeah,
Como te sientes, Omar?
yeah.
Okay.
And she put her hand to my head. I was like, "I think I got a little fever," and that was the
Damn.
last thing I remember. Yeah.
And how long was you out?
I mean, it's weird because um, that whole week was like a bad dream. It just felt like a bad dream. You
Mhm.
know, it felt like a day, but when I was taking a martial arts class, and then when I
Mhm.
came back to the class, everybody was like, "Oh, welcome back," and I was like, "Welcome back." I didn't even know I left. So it was just It was just like a bad dream. Yeah.
Mhm. So you don't even know how many days you was asleep or anything like that?
Okay. Okay. So the interesting thing is, the hotel was like in El Centro, right?
Mhm.
I don't know how I even got back to my hotel where I was at. I don't know
Mhm.
how I got back. Um, all I know is some guys that carried me up to my room.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, it's like a miracle. I don't know how I even got back. Yeah.
So wait a minute,
So I woke up. So when I woke up, I was in my bed.
From you okay, so you got drugged at the hotel and you woke back
Mhm.
up in your bed.
I woke up. That's how I remember it. But I also know that I was in the hospital. But I can't remember everything. Like I don't. I can't put
Damn.
together the timeline. I know I was in the hospital.
Mhm.
I don't know how I got to the hospital. because I don't even know how to get to that. Like the hospital that I was at, like I don't even know where that is. So I don't know how I got to the hospital. I don't know how I got back to my hotel. I don't know how I got back in my bed. Like all this stuff, I don't know how. It's just like a mystery.
Okay. And like what all did she take from you?
They took my phone, the money that I had, my credit card and stuff. I think that the hotel knew something was fishy, so they wouldn't let them take my credit card. So they gave it back to me, my credit card, my IDs and stuff. So they wouldn't let them take it. They wouldn't let them rob me with that. So the hotel, I found out that the hotel had my things. So I came back and I got those things back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe cash value, how much did they took?
About $100. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I know that's very unfortunate because it definitely affects your health. And that type of betrayal, someone you think was a friend. So I know that kind of, in all perhaps it kind of hurt your feelings to a certain degree too. But luckily you didn't get got like guys got for $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 whole bank accounts drawn out and all that. It was they took what you had on you basically.
Exactly. Yeah, I was like,
okay. And you've never seen this woman again a day in life. She's gone. Never seen her again.
no, I never seen her after that. She went back to her mom's house over there.
Okay. And did you make like a police report? You try to investigate or anything like that, or you just let it go?
I just let it go.
Okay. Now, how long did you stay in Colombia after that? Did you leave after this situation, or you stayed?
I did a couple of trips back to the States and I came back, but basically I stayed. I've been staying here.
Okay, because in most cases, and guys, if you want to follow my man El Flaco, I just dropped his tag in the chat. My brother Jay Rash is shout out to him for the $10 super chat, or I'm sorry, 10 mil super chat. He says, "Hey brothers, ask Aaron if you start a YouTube channel, but you already have a YouTube channel. You have a pretty interesting YouTube channel as well. I saw some of your content. Like you were swimming, like you had like a drone shot, you were swimming and everything."
Oh yeah, that was in when I took a trip a couple of Christmas ago to
Guadalupe, right? Guadalupe?
No,
Guadalupe?
Cartagena.
Oh, Cartagena. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, Cartagena, White Beach. I think it was on White Beach. Yeah, and I stayed out there for like a couple of months.
So let me ask you this, man. Why did you stay? Like, why? In most cases, guys get drugged and they just like, man, the hell with this. I'm out. I'm going back to the States. Why did you decide to say, you know what? Damn, I'm gonna stay here regardless.
Because I've basically been living outside the United States. When I was in the Dominican Republic, I was going back and forth for like 15 years. From I was trying to balance of working, making money, and living. So I would work to go back to the Dominican Republic. So I was trying to figure out a way to balance it. And then I just got tired of the United States altogether, and I just stopped going back.
Okay. I want to give a shout out to my man Love Crossing Borders, my man Andre, once again with a $5 super chat. Man, I really appreciate that. He says, too often I feel like a foreigner when talking to foreigners about Colombia. I'm done assuming black men have common sense. P. Diddy's. All right. Shout out to my man Andre from Love Crossing Borders, man. Shout out to him. But hey, listen, man, I'm glad everything pretty much similarly worked out for you, man. And you're safe. A lot of guys, unfortunately, sometimes they don't wake up and they end up dying like that. I know some guys who died personally like that, unfortunately, out there. Also, guys lose a whole lot more than $100. So everything turned out well.
I think it's because I keep in shape. I do a lot of exercise. When I go out here, every day or every other day, I run the mountains. I run the steps. I call it the run of hell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running up the steps, and the steps is maybe um, 75 feet up the hill. So it's a long
Mm-hmm.
row of steps, and I'll run them, run around the block, come back down the hill, run up again 3 times without stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Okay.
call it the workout of hell, and I do that every day, and then I go swimming pretty much every day. So I keep in shape. So I think that had a lot to do with me, being able to wake up. And also, I was also at that time I was taking jujitsu.
Okay. Okay. Now you said I think maybe this was recently that you kind of had another incident.
Oh, okay, yeah. But this time, okay, so it's almost identical. The
Hmm.
girl that I knew for maybe like 3 years, I knew
Damn.
of her. I didn't like really know her though, because I was
Mm-hmm.
messing with her friend, and she's the one
Mm-hmm.
that actually brought me here. Her and her friend. This is how I learned about San Domingo, because they brought me here. So um, they left. They went to another part of Colombia, and I stayed here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when she just recently came back, and we started like talking, and messing around and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. And what happened to where an incident?
Oh, okay. So um, you know, my friend, she was warning me. She was like, that girl, she's drugs with gringo. And when she said that, it was like the day before she tried to drug me. So I had that in my head, that she's drugging gringos, but I didn't think that she's going to drug me
Whoa,
because.
whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, Omar. Hold on, El Flacco. Hold on, man. Hold on. Rewind real quick, my brother. So somebody told you that she was drugging gringos,
Yeah, she told
and
me
and
the
and
day
and, and
before.
you, okay, the day before, and after that, you didn't cut her off. Like, okay, damn, she's drugging. You still decided to hang out with her after that.
Because you have to think that she's the one, her and her
Mm-hmm.
friend brought me here. So I'm like, these are cool. I'm like, these are cool people and everything, right? And even though that she said that, it was too fast. It was like the day before. I didn't call her, and then the next day she came to my house unexpectedly. So I didn't like, you know,
Oh,
uh,
okay. She just kind of popped up on you the day
she
after
just
that.
popped up the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So I just let her ring, just out of consideration.
Mm-hmm.
But I had that in my head that, you know, that she's drugging gringos, and then maybe like 15 minutes later she handed me a drink.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took it, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, you trying to drug me. And I said, you drink it. And I put it to her lips to try to make her drink it. See, okay. Put it aquí. Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. One second.
No, no, take your time, man. I'm gonna catch some of these comments while you do your thing right there, brother. Matter of fact, I'll put you on mute for a second so you can handle your business. All right, let's catch up with the chat, man. All right, we got my man Philip Lindsay. He says OMG. DH9219 says common sense. My man Bruce M2 says told you it was dirty work all around in the streets with Mai says damn. All right. We got Mixed Dackers, the navigator says, yo. All right. I think Love Cross. I think Andre you might be responding to somebody else. All right. All right. Okay. You guys got something going back and forth in the chat. All right. Hold on. All right. Coca-Cola TV says you can't go to Colombia speaking Puerto Rican Spanish. That just isn't going. That's just isn't going to cut it. Check out Coca-Cola TV. My man said he needs an intervention. All right. I got another super chat here. Hold on. I got a couple super chats here. Let me kiss these super chats real quick. On my man, Omar gets to the ghetto out there. He's fixing something in his crib out there in Santo Domingo, Colombia. All right. Shout out to my man, Wonderful Travels, always showing support, man. Shout out to you, my brother. He says $4.99 super chat. He says BMT sounds like he grew up outside the crack era you were talking about yesterday. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he, maybe I'll ask him that when he comes back online. All right. Shout out to you, Wonderful Travels, though. I got my man Uncle Luke, 1980s with the 5 super chat. Okay. This guy is what's wrong with the passport bros who just so happen to be black. This guy has no situational awareness. He should stay out of Colombia. Well, I mean, let's listen to what he had to say on the before we say that. Let's listen to what he said on the second story, because maybe he does have situational awareness. All right. If Dreaded Kid says, I got a box of crayons for the man crayon eating ad. Okay, man. Come on, Dre. All right. I'm glad to hear that he's safe for now. All right. All right. Let's see if my man is back on the scene. All right. What's going on, Omar? You there? Okay. Hold on. I think I got you on mute. I can't hear you. I think you. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. You good. You good. Pause. He said he's telling them he's Jamaican, looking for work. All right. All right. They all, can you hear me, Omar?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. All right, now, brother. Yeah, let's finish the story. You said you put the drink back up to her lips and she refused to drink it.
She refused to drink it. Yeah, mm-hmm. I knew right away she was trying to drug me.
Okay, and then what happened after that?
When she came in, she had a guy with her, and the guy went downstairs. I was like, "Well, why? Who is this guy?" And she was like, "That's my brother." So the guy went downstairs, and I was like, "That was another red flag." Before she handed me the drink, so I looked out the window, and the guy's waiting around. I'm like, And then when she handed me the drink, I was like, "You drink it." It was a wrap after that.
So that's kind of strange, just the setup in that. I mean, the fact that she has another guy with her, and did she offer to make a drink or something? Like, did she just say, "Hey, let's"? Like, what was that?
No,
why?
I don't know. It was kind of weird.
So she pops up on you, and then in this time span, was it an hour, 30 minutes, 10 minutes before y'all start? She offers a drink.
15 to 20 minutes before she just gave me the drink. I think she was an amateur at it. She was just learning. Yeah.
Okay. So from what your standpoint is, because you know him a little bit, what do you think they was trying to do?
She was trying to drug me, and then he was going to come back upstairs and try to look for stuff to rob me. Take my computer, money, whatever, phones, all that.
Now, do you have like some form of security in the around that's kind of like aware or anything, or?
Well, I had like the door. This was my other house. I just moved into this one. This one has no security whatsoever. There's like no bars. You can say there's no bars or anything.
Okay.
The other house I moved from had a steel door, and then it had a gate that you had to open up. So they had to get through the first gate, and then they had to get through the steel door. So that was pretty much the security. Here is really no security here.
Okay. And I don't know if you want to share this. You don't have to if you don't want. It's a live interview, so I just kind of ask questions. I don't take it no way. I don't want to answer it, but like how much around apartments are there? A month.
Oh, in this area, the last apartment when I was at, I had 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, kitchen, dining area, but something like this setup.
Okay, that's nice.
Similar to this setup.
Yeah, I like that. That.
Similar to this. And I was paying I was paying what 100, the same price, $120.
So $120 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment, 2 bathroom.
Exactly.
With a view. I can see the view behind you. Can we see a little bit of the view?
But the first place, the view, yeah. The first place had a
Oh,
good
that's a
view
nice
too.
view.
It had a nice view also.
Okay.
First place had a nice view too.
Let's check them out, family. Check them out now.
And then they got the patio.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my man froze for a little bit. Okay, he's gonna show us a little bit.
I just
Matter of fact.
But like, okay, bro. Okay, hold
No,
on. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay.
That's a damn good price, $120 a month. Shit, I might need to pull up out there on you, man.
See the patio?
That's a very big patio.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, yeah, and the guy just installed in the hot water.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, like you living a life out there, man. I mean, I don't know how safe, but you say you pretty much feel safe because I know. Shout out to my man Razor Rays. You did a show on my man Razor Rays channel. That's how I found out about you. And it was somebody in the comments
I feel very safe here. Very safe. I haven't heard like a gunshot. Like I've been in the United States and I've been in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And in the summertime, where I'm from, you hear gunshots all the time, ambulance going back and forth. I mean, you feel the crime, you see the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Here, unless it's done in silence, I don't see the crime, I don't hear the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I go to El Centro, that's a different story. If I go to like I said, when I went to 70th Avenue, and the guy tried to rob the place with a gun, I could see the crime,
Mm-hmm.
But here for like the last 2 years, I haven't seen any crimes.
Okay.
When I first got here, I thought I might have heard some gunshots, but I wasn't really sure.
Okay, somebody says is Escobar from the San Domingo area?
That's what I heard.
Okay, so that's Pablo Escobar's old neighborhood.
Yeah, but Pablo Escobar had a lot of neighborhoods. He had a house in one of the richer areas also.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He actually had a lot of spots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The days of Pablo is gone. So the stigma, everything about here has changed. Nothing's staying the same. Here, one day I got on the bus, like the bus comes right in front of my house. I go straight to El Centro. If I take one bus ride to go straight to El Centro. I got on the bus and it was a girl from England, right? A white girl from England on the bus.
Man, hey, you know what, man? White people be everywhere. Shout out to my white people and Africans. They ass be everywhere, bro. Real talk. That's one thing. White women and Africans, they ass be everywhere, bro. Like today, even in my building, I'm in I thought I was the only American in my building, and I heard some English the day. I was just like, the hell y'all coming? Like, what y'all doing here? And I asked the person in the rent office, I was just like, is there other Americans in this building? She was like, yeah. I was like, what? Because I'm in like a Dominican neighborhood, so I'm thinking I'm like the only American out here, but you'd be surprised, man. Americans be spreading out. Now I'm in a nice area. I'm not like in I would say myself to be in a nice area, but I know where you at. You really don't see too many Americans out there, right?
Not too many, but you see them. You see a couple of white girls walking their dogs. Surprisingly, you'll see them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel safer there than you do in the neighborhoods you was in back in America?
Definitely. One time I got jumped by 10 guys for no reason in Massachusetts.
Damn.
I got in trouble for defending myself. A guy, he attacked me for no reason. First, he was going after my brother, right? And then he started coming after me because I'm his brother.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been attacked here yet. No one has
Okay.
attacked me. I've been here for, 3 years or so. I haven't been attacked.
So despite you having, I guess there's some couple of incidents and you being drugged one time, in your eyes, Colombia, is still home. You still prefer it. You like living there.
It's safe and it's not safe. I know the stuff that goes down. I know people get robbed, kidnapped, get
Mhm.
drugged. Of course, I got drugged. But it's like it's how you move.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And out
I mean,
there, it
even when
said,
I'm
now go
sorry.
ahead. Go
Even when
ahead.
I
Go ahead.
was
Go
in
ahead.
the DR, I mean, I was in the hood also. I didn't stay in. I didn't when I first came to the DR. I didn't want to stay in the in the hotel in the area in the Gringo areas. I wanted to see what the Dominican Republic was about. I was just
Mm-hmm.
so curious, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't stay like even when in Santo Domingo. I stay in this place called Bayo Vista in Santo Domingo.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only rich area that I stayed in, and it was so boring. It was so boring. But when I went to Santiago, I stayed in the hood the whole time.
Okay. So you're pretty comfortable being in the hood, even overseas. That's where you prefer to be.
I'm very comfortable in the hood. It's what I know. I've been in the hood all my life.
Okay. That
That's all
makes
I know.
sense.
I mean,
That
I went
makes
to
sense.
Haiti, and I went to. We was there. My friend, we was in Haiti. He dared us to go. We was gonna go to the worst neighborhood. I was like, yeah, let's go. We went to Cité
Oh
Soleil.
man,
It was
you
the
sound like
worst
one of
neighborhood in Haiti.
you sound like one of my boys. Man, I got a boy like that too. He be with the little camera and everything. He be like, "Let's go." I'm like, "Nah, bro, you good? I'm good. Go ahead."
I was warned by this. There was a white guy, and I was at the border between Dominican Republic and Haiti. He was telling me, no, actually, it was in Sosua, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me, don't go to Haiti, right? And he didn't know I was on my way to Haiti at the time he was telling me this. He was like, don't go to Haiti, they will kill you, right? And he was, and I was like, oh, I'm going to Haiti, you know. I
Okay.
took two Dominican girls with me and one Haitian guy. So it was like four of us.
Someone said Bella Vista was next to Pentini. I know Pentini is expensive as hell. Shout out to Pentini though. I go there almost every day. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got a lot of mixed comments. Do you have time for a panel? Do you want to do a little bit of a panel? I'm not gonna hold you here long, but do you want
Sure.
to answer some questions from guys in the chat? Because they,
Sure.
all right, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and drop a link. Guys, pull up, preferably cammed up, because a lot of guys they come on and talk ish and don't even be showing their faces. All right.
Exactly.
So at least if you got something to say or some type of criticism, out of respect of being a man, at least be able to show who you are.
And show
But
that
if not,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
Sorry to cut it. And also show that you traveled. They have all this
Uh,
criticism and they never left the United States. I want to see some stamps on the passports.
Facts. All right, my man said he type to have a vacation in North Korea. But you know what though? I'm gonna tell you what, Omar. It's funny, man, because when I was in Brazil, I stayed in Brazil for like almost close to a year, and I was in Barra da Juca and Leblon. I was kind of around, I would say, more of the whiter Brazilians, even though I don't think they consider themselves to necessarily be white like that. Brazilians with money, if you want to say that. And it was cool. Some of them were nice. Some of them say good morning, but it was always kind of short and brief. But when I got hooked up with my man Hobson out there, and he took me to the favela in Rosina, I felt more at home because I was kind of welcomed in by somebody, because everybody just can't go in the favela like that. So as long as I'm with Hobson, Hobson's telling me, hey, this guy here, this is this guy, this is, my friends, this is my family. And just by me being around, I felt comfortable. And he offered to build me an apartment in the favela for like $10,000 because the apartment he was in, basically it's like a little building, and they build out the apartments for you once you pay. He was like, "Hey, bro, give me 10,000, just sprinkle it to me over time, and I'll build you an apartment." And he had built an apartment for actually some of my Jamaican homeboys. They live right next to each other, and I thought about it. I was like, nah, I really want to live in a favela. But now, like looking back on it, I'm just like, damn, I would have had an apartment pretty much paid for by now, and I would own it with no bills, because there's no bills in the favela, So I was like, but it's that element. I'm just like, do I really want to live in a favela though? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's safe because that's like more of a touristy favela, but it still got, favelas are huge. They way bigger than any projects that we ever had in America. Well, maybe besides, I think Queensbridge is big like a favela, but I'm from Atlanta, so. But it still flares up sometimes. But at the same time, where we from in America, it can flare up anywhere. Like them old country ass towns in the South, man. Them some dangerous ass towns, Phoenix, Alabama, and all that shit. Them little Oxford, Macon, Georgia, like them some dangerous ass towns. All right, so I'm just talking. Let me drop a link, man, because I know guys want to pull up for a moment. Let me drop a link one more time. My man Omar says he's ready for the smoke, but cam up. All right. No, you didn't say that, but guys been going at you in the chat. We're gonna see who's gonna pull up, man. And that's the thing. I think everybody, what I noticed about this travel space, a lot of criticisms come from people that, and I always tell guys, live your life, move the way you like to move. Like march to your own beat, bro. Some guys like to live in the most ritziest areas overseas. Shout out to my man Jay Clyde, like go to the nicest restaurants. Some guys like to go to the hood, to the barrios. And be amongst the people. It's about what you enjoy.
Exactly.
Now hold on. I know guys talking all this mess and nobody has pulled up yet. What's going on, guys? See, they're afraid to cam up. They don't want to cam. That's what it is. They'll pull up. They're afraid to cam up on you, bro.
Let me tell you this story. There was a girl. She came to my house. She was like, "Omar, I need some money." I said, "Well, what we could do is I'll teach you how to massage, right? And then we could, find clients for you." So I showed her how to do body massage, and now she bought the machine and client. So I got her a guy. I was like, "Yo, I got this girl. She's trying to learn the massages. If you could give her a try, blah blah blah." And he brought her to our house. She did massaging. She did a little bit of cleaning, cooking for him, and she ended up making so much money that she started buying land. She's buying land here, so she bought property here.
Off of massages, okay.
Yeah, it's an empty lot, and she started already construction. So in other words, the land right here is really cheap. Right where I'm at is really cheap, and you can and build. And then people thinking, oh, they're robbing and doing this. They're not doing any of that. They're building every. If I showed you outside, where they're building everywhere around here, because Medellin is expanding. There's too many people coming into Medellin, so it's expanding. And I'm at the frontier right now, and I can see the houses being built. From when I first came here to now. And it's like big business right now, and the land is really cheap.
Okay, so San Domingo might be the spot. And you said they have a transit system that can get you to Poblado in like 40 minutes, or Central in like 40 minutes.
They built a metro cable, and I think they're going to build another one. They have a project of building another one, because also they have, like I said, Parque RV. I might be saying it wrong, but Parque RV, which is right up on the hill. And I went horseback riding up here. So I took my horses. Well, it's not my horse. There's guys, they rent out horses. And we went up to the mountains right here up here. Parque RV, came back down, had a quick, a good time.
Okay. Let me go ahead and pull up. We got our first panel guest of the day, Mr. Felipe.
Hey, how are you, BMT?
I'm good, my man. I'm good. I'm good.
Brother Omar.
Hey, how's it going?
You told some. Hey, brother, how are you?
And what's your name? I'm trying to Philip.
It's Philippe.
Philippe. Okay. Are you Haitian?
Yeah, I'm Louisiana.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But regardless, I pulled up not necessarily to criticize you. I actually, you told some harrowing stories. I'm more concerned about your safety, brother. That the couple of the things that you said went on with you, man. It made me nervous enough that I wanted to pull up and kind of talk to you about, what was going on. So you've been in Colombia for a while?
Yeah, back and forth for like 3 years. Yeah.
Okay, so you've been there long enough. Have you made friends? Like not these people that drugged you, but I'm saying like, when I lived abroad, almost everybody in my neighborhood knew me. So, people in the local businesses. I had a job. I was working in the university. Have you made friends?
Well, you interact with people. You go to the stores, you see them every day. So it's like a little town here. So people are familiar with you. And one thing about it is that people know me, so they know they can't rob me because if somebody robs me and lives here, right, he's exposing himself. They're not going to
Okay.
rob you here if you live here. They'll rob you in Poblado and come here, but they're not going to rob you in. They're not robbing people who live in this place.
Mm-hmm. So
You know.
when you go out socially, the people that you are going out, are you going out by yourself, or are you going out with friends, or
I'm
how
going
are
out by
you?
myself. I'm going out
Or
by
you're going out
myself.
by yourself?
Yeah, mostly. I don't really have friends that I roll with. I have a couple of American friends. Um, people I know from the States. But I try not to. The more friends you get, the worse things get. The more people you know, or you try to bring them into your house. I find that that's the worst scenario.
Yeah,
It's
I
better to
wouldn't
stay
necessarily.
away, but know people. Know me. People when I walk down the street, they know me. Know me. They know who I am. You know.
Okay, so do you speak Spanish?
A little bit. I'm not. I'm maybe like 30%.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason why I was asking these questions, and
Enough to do. Little. You see, the guy came in. He fixed the thing. I knew enough to show him where the shower is. I knew enough to have him fix it, pay him, and he left.
okay, I get that. And once again, I'm not criticizing you. I'm more concerned about your safety. And I've been up with BMT before, and I had some heroin experiences. I was not living in Colombia. I was living in Mexico, but I was held at gunpoint twice. That
I lived
being
in
said,
Mexico too. I've been to Mexico.
what's that?
I was
Yeah.
in Mexico also. Yeah.
And yes,
No, go ahead.
you were saying something.
No,
You were saying something. I cut you off.
I said I did.
No.
I lived in Mexico also for a little
Okay.
while. Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of know. I mean, you've traveled. So, and my brother, ironically, lives in Colombia. So, myself and my mom are in and out of there with some frequency. And
Mm-hmm.
my feeling is, and number one, if you can, to try to get your Spanish up. Why? Because when you're going, particularly since you said you like to go out socially alone, you're traveling and going into these spaces
Mm-hmm.
somewhat blind because you can't understand what the people around you are saying. Not to say that you can't pick up some of it, but in mastering the language, it will put your ears on to at least be able to hear if you're in danger. And that does happen. I mean, now, ironically, this did not happen in Latin America, but I was in a Latin neighborhood here in the States, and there were some sort of issue going on, and I heard one of the Spanish guys say, "Go jump those two black guys over there." So I told my brother, "Listen, I just heard this guy and that guy that's behind us, they're going to try to jump us. So when I say go, you got to run." But the point is, if I didn't speak the language.
And this was in Mexico. This is in Mexico, right?
No, this was in the United States that happened. But the point is that I spoke the language.
That's my point.
But my point is, because I spoke the language, I was able to make decisions that helped our safety. Obviously, we got out of it okay. And so my concern for you is that you try to work on getting your Spanish up so that you're not going into these places blind. And does it mean that you will be fluent in 6 months? No, but 30% comprehension to 60% comprehension is a big difference that will help you. And so, you know, since you like doing things on your own, you know, just take 15 minutes a day to work on stuff. And one of the biggest educators, if you have a television in your apartment, is to watch Spanish TV and try to figure out, if you can put the subtitles on, try to figure out what they're saying. That's step one on your safety. The second thing I was going to say, and the reason why I asked about your friend group or whatever, is I can tell you definitively that because I had good friends, you know, friends that were my neighbors that I went out with, they looked out for me. They made sure that we all came home safe. And so to the extent that, because I was a foreigner, you know, and so, you know, maybe I was a much younger man at that time, but if I got a little too much to drink, or, you know, I wasn't paying attention, having a couple of trusted friends. And what I mean by, you know, like these guys, they lived, the one guy, he and his family lived right in front of my apartment. The other guy, I met through him. That could help your situation a little bit, because you've got your eyes and ears that are paying attention, but you've also got at least two other sets of eyes watching, so that you know, you don't have situations where you're caught off guard. And then the final thing, I think it seems like you deduced it, was if a woman is telling you, I'm doing this shady thing and that shady thing, if she's telling you she's doing that already, the likelihood that you're on the list is high. I don't think that's anything, right?
Yeah, but when did I have a girl tell me that she's doing shady things?
I thought that you said that the second young lady that drugged you told you ahead of time. Now, maybe I misunderstood what you said.
No, I said one of my friends told me to be careful of that girl.
Oh, so a friend warned you. So she didn't tell you, a friend warned you.
It wasn't her friend. It was one of my friends. Yeah.
Right. So he warned you.
Yeah, she warned me.
All right. So there you go. You had the proving what I was saying, the first thing of good friends looking out for you. You should listen. Yeah. You know, it's been my experience, and you know, I lived in a couple of different countries, and then I've traveled to several, that if you have good friends on the ground, and what I mean by good friends are people that are not going to allow you to get drugged or attacked, or help if you get into an incident to help defend you, to get you out of there, that you have a much higher likelihood of surviving. And it's ideal if those people are local people, because they know the customs, they know the situations better than you do. You're not from there.
True.
So,
You
listen,
know,
bro,
every day I walk. You know, I walk out of here. I interact with the people. I go to the store. Even when I moved here, I had the local movers around here moving me in
yeah,
here, right? So I'm meeting these people. I'm seeing them, and that's how just time and interaction. You meet people, but I don't. When I say I don't have friends, I mean I don't bring people close in my circle and close, but I have associates that I'm familiar with, you know.
that's
But I,
that's the way to go.
mm,
That's the way to go.
yeah,
And listen, I don't know. Like I said, I was a much younger man, but one of the things that I did too early on when I first got there, although you've been there for a while, was I bumped into a guy who was from LA, but he was living in Mexico. He had a little store that was around the corner from where I was living. And I already had a job at the university, but I had some free time. And so I volunteered to help out when he needed to leave the store at his store. Now, the reason why I did that was so I could practice my Spanish, I could learn to count the money, and I could learn the different foods and different things. I part-timed at the store. I didn't ask for a paycheck. I just did it for my friendship with him and also because I was teaching myself. So, and obviously that helped our friendship, but I'm throwing that out to you that was another thing that I did to get language skills up, because then I was interacting with people all the time. They would give me their orders in the store. It was just a little corner market deli, so sometimes they would ask for ham or whatever, local stores sell, right? But I want to throw that out to you. You do have some free time to, just take some time to work on your Spanish that way too, because it puts you under pressure when people are asking you to do things, right? So then you got to learn, through, and it didn't take a lot of time. I wasn't working there like a job. It was just, the guy's name was Paul. If Paul said to me, hey man, I need to go run some errands, get some inventory. Can you mind the store for an hour or two? You see what I'm saying? Okay. So I'm going to throw that out to you, to be creative. That,
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, BMT, man, I didn't want to, dominate the show or anything like that. It was a great interview as you.
Thank you, man.
And I appreciate. I appreciate your comments, and you didn't come on. I know this is a different show than Razor Rays, but
Rays.
Come on, we were fighting. Yeah, and I appreciate that because there's a thing that I call the barking dog syndrome. Have you ever heard that? The barking dog syndrome?
No.
It's something that affects our community or Black African Americans the most, I find. And what it is let's say you have a dog, right? You're walking your dog, and another guy walking his dog, right? And one dog communicates with the other dog and starts barking at it, right? And one of the dogs wants to rip that other dog off. So if he lets the leash go, he's going to run to that dog and tear him up, right? And maybe the guy that's holding the leash, he doesn't like that dog for some reason. He doesn't like it. But the dog that he's walking doesn't like that other dog twice as much, So, and that's what we have like in our community, right? We see one Black man, and maybe the community that we're from is racist or whatever, and the whites, they set it up. But the Black people, right, we have a more anger towards the other Black man, just out of like for instance, the dog wants to please his master. So we try to in a lot of cases, we try to please our, the whites or whatever by saying like, oh, we're the only one. I'm the only one here. I'm the only one doing this. And these other Blacks, they're not, So I call this is a term that I call the barking dog syndrome. Right?
I get it. It's a good analogy.
Yeah,
and it's a good analogy.
BMT
isn't running that. He's at most of the people that come on BMT show are really concerned about the people and the brothers traveling, and they want them to win and be successful. And very often the people who are watching are slightly older, right? So I want nothing but success for you, and that you're safe and not drugged and having good travels. So I'm gonna yield. No, brother, good. Be safe out there, and I'm happy for you. And it sounded to me like, we were talking in the chat. I don't know where in the states that you were from, but it sounded to me like, ironically, you are safer there than you were in wherever you came from in the United States. Was that your view?
In every state I've been to, I felt safer. Even when I lived in Washington, D.C., I had a guy almost pull a gun on me because he thought I was selling drugs on his block.
Yeah.
And I thought he was, I thought that was done for.
Yeah, that's not good. One other thing, as I was sitting here listening, and that is that if you're able to, put aside some money, or you have some money, just like BMT was just talking about his investment in the potential favela house, that one of the things that I think I missed the opportunity to do was to try to buy assets while you are there. So if you have the opportunity to buy something that can generate money, even though it's in pesos, that to try to do that, meaning it could be anything. It could be a neighborhood laundromat. It could be, just helping the guy that sells food on the street to buy a second cart, and you own the second cart. So now you're doubling up his money. But it's small assets, to I know in Medellin that the nail shops are big. If you have a girl is doing nails out of her house to help her get a storefront or something like that, you own the storefront. The point being that there's an opportunity there to own because of the what it's called arbitrage, but the difference between the US dollar and the Colombian peso. So I just want to encourage you to keep your eyes and ears open. If there's an opportunity, like BMT just said, about his favela house, to grab an asset to go on and go on and do that. Don't be afraid, or so focused on what you're doing that you don't let opportunity pass you by. So I'm going to leave you with that, and just be safe.
I appreciate you coming on. All right, appreciate it. Always good information he's dropping, man. Shout out to Felipe. My man T Mac with $10 super chat. He says, I won't criticize a man for living his life and not hurting anyone. Medellin is a difficult place to make deep friendships. I live in Medellin, but have closer friends in other cities. Glad bro Omar is safe. So as you can see, man, it's pretty, the chat, even though they were talking about a bunch of ish in the chat, they're pretty positive as far as super chats and coming on, But I mean, yeah, you definitely gotta learn the language. What I learned, at least here being the DR, is you just gotta go out and have conversations with people. Luckily in San Domingo, where I'm at, a lot of people speak a little broken English, so you can kind of conversate. And you gotta tell the motherfucker to slow down too. Like, how about this spatio? Omar, like, come on, man, let's just slow down just a little bit, so I can at least pick up a few words and understand what you're saying, because I understand a lot of Spanish. But a guy was telling me today, he was just like, man, Colombia is a better place to learn Spanish, because here you just got to be kind of amongst the people, because we talk almost a different form of Spanish. Like it's bad, He's like, I don't even recommend trying to learn what we speak here.
I used to make up my own words when I was in the Dominican Republic, and the people they would just take it. They would just be like, "Oh, I understand what you're saying."
Yeah, because I was listening to a conversation. What was it, yesterday? No, I was actually in Punta Cana, and they kept saying, I think they were saying Felipe, and I was confused. I'm like, how many Felipes is in this goddamn story? Like, they was calling everybody, but I think they do that, like how we might say in Atlanta, we don't say it now, but we used to say shorty, you know what I'm saying, or shorty. Like we just call everything, anybody can be shorty. Like shorty could be a girl, a guy, a thing, so many. So I think they do the same thing. They might just say Felipe instead. So instead of me saying like, yeah, Shawty up the street or something like that, they might say, yeah, Felipe up the street, and then Felipe came here, and Felipe. So it's things like that will throw you off because you understanding some of the conversation, but you like, how many Felipes this motherfucker got in this, in this storyline here, brother? But it's things like that can definitely throw you off. But you just learn with time, man. You just learn with time. Shout out to my man W Secrets to Success and Vlogs with the $5 super chat. It said it appears the women befriends him, then decides at some point to take him as an easy mark. Stay safe out there, Omar. You want to respond to that?
Oh well, the incident really, like I caught the first one. I mean, the first one was like, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like I went to the bar and I met some strangers. It's just weird. It's just a weird situation how it all unfolded. I mean, I don't think I put myself in a bad situation. It was just unfortunate situation. Because I really don't go out to the clubs too much. Because I'm 52, so I'm kind of slowing down. I don't do any of that.
I feel you, man. I'm in my early 40s, bro, and sometimes I stand outside the club, look right at the club, be like, yeah, like, okay, I'm good. And walk right out that joint before I even go inside. Thailand is a little different because everybody's old out there, so it's normal. You go in the club, it'd be like 40, 50-year-old white guys trying to turn up and shit. That shit be so funny. But
when I was in the Dominican Republic, I had a house, and in front of it was a strip club, and I never went to that strip club because I had so many girls in the house that used to come visit me. I never had to go. I never needed to go. Crazy.
One thing I would say, and this might apply in Colombia too, but especially in the DR, just the way how it's set up, because at least in Medellin, it's so many. It's like a large metropolitan area, so people are not really paying attention too much to what you got going on. But since everything is kind of flat level here, you got to be careful if you got like a main girl or something, because these motherfuckers will snitch on you, bro. Like the whole neighborhood, if they see you with one girl, they're gonna assume that's your wife, that's your main girl or whatnot, right? And if they see you with another girl, they just be like, muchacho, okay, mi hermano. They be like, bro, what the, you know what I'm saying? But they be paying attention at your, like, so what I did wrong was, if you go to the Kamado, which is like the bodega, if you go to that store with your main female, don't take any other female to that damn store, because they'll rat you out, right? Especially if it's a Dominicana female, she definitely gonna rat you out. You know what I'm saying? So take it to the Kamado, another place, because I was with it was one guy that Kamado, he kept doing look backs like who this with, who you with now, like. So
I mean, the DR is like, you can't have one girl. You just can't. When I was there, I was like, "There's no way I'm going to have one girl. No."
Nah, it's virtually impossible. It's impossible.
And I used to tell them. I was like, it's against my religion just to have one girl. And I would just tell them that. And then, so I was upfront with them. And most of the time when I went out with like 2 or 3 girls. So I was always like with three or 4 girls at all times in the DR. Not here, but in the DR.
Yeah.
Like I knew so many in the hood, because in the hood, it's like the people are so, it's like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And they probably thought you was Dominican. Like they all think we Dominican. For the most part.
Everybody knew that I was American. I used to walk down the street and I'd be like, "Why is everybody staring?" And the girls used to have to tell me, "Everybody know who you are," because I was the only American in my neighborhood, in my borough. In the next borough over, there was another American, but he was like an older guy, and he was always drunk and stuff, and he used to beat his girl. But I was like the only one. It wasn't like so everybody knew who I was. And then I lived in a house of a famous musician. Right, so I was kind of pretty much famous, in that area.
Okay, So would you ever move back to the DR, or you prefer living in Colombia?
Well, like at one point, I told Razor Ray this. I had 10 girls live with me at one time, and that's how I kind of got jammed up because one of the girls, there was a police officer that lived next door, and he just wanted trouble. And one time um, he came at me with a gun. He tried to shoot me. The cops are bad over there in DR. Yeah,
He tried to. Hey, hold on.
he put
You
out
call
a
me up.
gun on me. I didn't even know who he was.
You say you was messing with one of his girls or something?
No, no. He came to the door. He knocked on the door, and I came to it, and he was like, "I have proof that you killed one of my chickens." I was like, "Killed one of your chickens?" I didn't know what he was talking about. And then he tried to attack me. Like he tried to grab me from the face,
Hmm.
and then I seen his hand slide down to his waist. I knew he was going for his gun, so I ran to the door. And as I was closing it, he already had the gun out like this, trying to shoot me. And I closed the door. Yeah, cops are bad there. That's one of the reasons I left. Cops are
Yeah,
really bad there. And it
yeah.
could be because jealousy. I think because he looked up my history, and I had a situation with um, I had fought some cops because they were trying to lock me up for no reason, and that's what they do. They lock people up for no reason, and I ended up. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm just telling you the situation. And I fought it, so it was in the system that and I think he looked me up, so he didn't like me. You know.
Yeah, I seen a American in Punta Cana arguing with a police officer, and I'm just like, bro, be careful. Be careful with that because you're in their little territory, bro. I
Yeah,
mean, they
and
do
then
they do just somewhat get in trouble, but
the cops killed my brother-in-law. I was married to a Dominican girl out there, and they killed my brother-in-law, and they were trying to kill me. So
damn,
yeah. So
yeah.
what happened was they sent this girl to come to my house,
Mhm.
and then it was like they try to make it like I beat her, and they try to say that I kept her in the house and all this stuff, and one of the cops, I think it's the neighbor, gave her a gun to shoot me.
Damn.
The same cop that was trying to shoot me, he gave her a gun to shoot me. Yeah. And then I found out about that because one of the Dominican girls, like, was on my tablet. Like, she had my tablet, and because she was using my tablet, and when I had my tablet, when she was chatting, it was coming up on my screen. I guess she didn't close log out, right? So everything she was saying was coming up on the screen. And then one of the Dominican girls was like, "Yo, this girl's trying to kill you. She's trying to set you up." And then yeah, we had a plan. I brought the girls over. It was like 5 or 6 of them, and they was like, "Okay, the plan is I'm going to get her out the house, and we're going to search for the gun." And then but it kind of backfired. It didn't work. Yeah, she didn't want to leave the house.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah. So the police was working with her to set me up. Yep. And then when I kicked her out the house, she was stalking me and everything. So I went to the police station to tell her, "Oh, this girl's stalking me," and they don't care. They all work together. They don't. So that's how I got in trouble. So
Okay. So you prefer living in Colombia, basically.
I got in trouble. I had to go to court. I was supposed to go to court. Um, I was signing. They arrested me because she charged me. She said I beat her and all this stuff, right? So I had to go to court. I got arrested, and then I had to do every month. I had to go to the police station and sign, and all this stuff. And then they was gonna have a court date for me. And then like after 1 year, they was having a court date and all this. And then what I did was I paid this guy, right, to find out what the police were up to. and he recorded on his phone the conversation that they were having, and they were planning on setting me up with other charges. They were making fake charges. Yeah.
So, what was the purpose of all this? To try to extort you or something?
They didn't. They didn't. No, not to. I think because of the history, because I had a fight with a cop before, and they didn't like me, and they found out. It was in when I was in Boca Chica, but then I moved to Santo Domingo, Santiago. It was a different city, but it's still in the system. And then a guy, I guess he was running my information, and he seen that I fought a cop before, and he just wanted to fuck with me. Excuse my language.
No, that's all good. Okay.
Yeah, and then they try to rob me too. The cops and the girl, they try to rob me.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy, man. I was talking to a Dominican guy. He was mentioning how bad the cops were. He was like, man, they bad here, bro. He was like, you can do anything and just pay them. Like, it's just all about money. They don't even do their jobs. You have to pay them to do everything.
So you know what? When I got out of jail, they did start extorting me. They said they wanted because I had so many girls in the house. They thought I was running a cam business, right? So they came back and they thought I was like making like money. I wasn't really making no money. So they were like, "Oh, you're gonna have to pay us, and then we're gonna, if I didn't pay them, then So they was trying to extort me too. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So no coming back for DR for you. It's all about Colombia.
Yeah, I can't go back. Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right, man. Well, it looked like excellent show. I don't see nobody else pulling up, man, to try to challenge you on your lifestyle or anything like that, man. So we can go ahead, and I'm not gonna hold you any longer, brother. But it was a great show, man. I appreciate you coming on.
You're welcome. And I'm glad you brought me on here. All right.
Okay. Anything like to say in closing before we go?
Well, Colombia is changing. It's ever changing. In the hood, it's like how you're in a city and you're in a bad city, and if people in another city, another part of town, and they're always like, "Don't go to that area," and that's in every city you go to. They'll say, "Oh, don't go there because because they do this and this and this." But when you go there, you find that it's nothing really bad about it. So that's like Colombia. It's ever changing. Pablo Escobar is no longer here. Whatever happened back then, it's not happening now. There are police everywhere. There's a police station right here. Any time of the day, you can see the police up to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I've been to a party. I think I'm gonna post it on my page. It was a party around 2 or 3 o'clock in the night. We all in the streets, playing music, and it's late at night, and nobody's doing anything. Nobody's messing with me. Nobody, and it's pretty safe. So,
Okay.
So those rumors are always going to be here. The rumors are always going to be here, and because people are not going to venture out from Poblado, so they're going to be like, "Oh, don't ever go there." But everything's changing every day.
Okay. Buck, you have something to say real quick before we go?
Yeah, I got smoke for this dude, man. Salute BMT thanks for having me on, man. Look, man, you've moved.
Hold on,
I'm coming with the smoke, man.
Buck, hold on.
The barking dogs.
Okay, hold on, Buck. Omar, you got the time now? Because you got the time to respond to him or no?
I mean,
you good?
If you want to come respectful, I mean, I ain't trying to fight,
Okay.
No barking dogs. Just come if you have concern and I can learn from you. Come respectful. That's all.
Okay, but go ahead.
I'm gonna come respectful. I'm just gonna say this, and to every future traveler, if you're in the chat and you're thinking about going to Colombia, please just book a consultation. A lot of guys, they look down on consultation, but it's gonna save you lives, man. Just book that consultation for the rookie guys. Book that consultation. I don't need it because I know how to move overseas. But
And how long have you been traveling?
uh, a lot of these guys will give you game, man. So next time I'm talking to the guys that also that's potentially going to go to Colombia. Book a
And how long have
consultation.
you been traveling? How long have you been traveling?
I've been traveling well over 10 years, bro. I got experience
Okay,
in
and
this
what
thing,
country?
bro.
And what countries have you been to?
I've been over. If I named them, I'll be over here like all day,
No,
bro.
no,
Like
just name them. Just name. No,
over
no,
to
no.
like
Just name a couple.
most of South America, Latin America, Central America,
What?
and
Most
also
of my.
Asia.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I've been to Colombia many
You ain't
times.
been nowhere. You haven't been nowhere.
I've been
What
to
part of
Colombia
Colombia
many
have you been?
times.
What part of Colombia have you been to? What's the cities?
I've
Name me some
I've been
cities.
to I've been Medellin a couple times.
Oh,
So I
okay, so
had
you know
fun.
that
I
word.
had fun. I
Okay,
already.
you've
So when I
you've been
went
to
there
Medellin 2 times. 2 times? You said a couple of times.
three
What other
times.
cities have you been to? Okay, what other cities have you been to?
That's the only city I've been to, Colombia.
Okay, so
What I,
I've been to what's the south of it? The south what's the beach city? Help me out, BMT.
You got Bogota, you got Cartagena, you
The
got
beach,
Barranquilla.
the Cartagena. Okay, I've been Cartagena, and there's another city I can't remember. I've been to Santa Marta. I've been to Santa Marta. I've been to Cartagena. I've been to there's another one by the border of Venezuela. What's that called? You know? Yeah, I'm
so
bad
you
with
okay?
names. I'm bad with names.
So you've been
Yeah.
so
That's
you've
just
been
in
so you've
Colombia.
been more
That's just in
cities than
Colombia.
me.
Okay,
Here's the
yeah,
thing.
but that's just in
You've been
Colombia,
more cities than me, and
right?
you still got managed to get drugged a couple times. So
No, no, I
what does
got
that
drugged one
show?
time. I got
You
drugged
got
one
drug
time.
once.
It,
One
it
time.
doesn't matter. Look, that
Yeah, it
once
does
could have
matter.
been
It does matter.
your life could have been over
It
though.
doesn't matter. But I could have got drugged in the United States too. I could have got shot in the United States. You know, so a lot of stuff can happen anytime to anybody. I've been to Mexico, right? I've been to one of the worst parts of Mexico. Like, this is how I travel. I don't care. I've been one of the worst parts of Mexico. I've been to Haiti. I've been to Haiti a couple of times, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Dominican Republic multiple times. I lived there back and forth for 15 years, right? I've been to Belize. I've been to Guatemala, different parts, Guatemala City. I've been to the south part of Guatemala multiple times, right? And you can't even name me one other place that you've been to.
Okay, so
You're naming me continents.
let me
You
just
can't
pick.
even name me where you've been. You're gonna, and I'm 52. How old are you?
Look, let me just pick a random
How old are you?
country.
How old are you?
Let me just pick a random country that
Come
you
on,
just mentioned.
Buck, how old are you,
Yo,
brother?
let me just pick a random country that you just picked, Belize. So what was it like out there? I'm
Belize is
cutting in and
cool.
out.
Belize is cool. I have 2 horses in Belize right now. Some people watching it for me, right?
You have what?
I own 2 horses. You can look at my pages. I show you. I have
Yeah,
pictures of my horse. I
put your
have
phone.
video of horseback riding. I own 2 horses that I learned how to ride while I was in Belize. It wasn't like I have a horse background. I learned how to train my horses. I used to feed my horses every day, give them water every day, learn to clean them every day, learn to change their shoes, the horse, pick up their shoes, you know, teach the horse how to ride a human, because sometimes, I mean, they don't know how to ride. You have to teach them. I train my horses. I'm a city person. I learned how to train horses, right? So I have 2 horses. I lived in the jungle of Belize. And then I also moved into what's the name of that? On the islands, one of the islands, one of the keys of Belize. So I live in both places. I had a cat, a wild cat. It's mixed. It was a mixed cat with a house cat and a wild jungle cat. I can't read the name of it.
Wait a minute, man.
Cat, but it's one of those small wild cats.
You
know what I'm saying?
you had like a little saber-toothed cat. What you had?
Well, it's one of those
You mean you had a jungle cat up in that mug?
Cats, but they're like wild. Yeah, it was a jungle cat. It was mixed. Yeah, It was mixed with a regular cat.
All right, one of our travelers with the $5 super chat says, every traveler that has gotten drugs said, I know how to move. All right. Good point, one of our travels. Good point. All right. Well, yeah, we lost Buck, man.
Anybody could get drugged. Anybody could get drugged. I mean, that's not, you don't know how to move because you got drugged. Anybody.
Yeah, that's what my attorney said in Colombia.
Poison your food. How easy is it?
Anybody can get got in Colombia, man.
You know,
anybody. It's very true.
So I mean, it's not something that you don't know how to move because you got drugged one time. You know. I'm more careful who's around my food, of course. I still have girls come and they cook me food, but I trust it. It doesn't mean like I don't trust nobody no more. I still gotta live my life. You know, I have girls that clean the house, they cook the food. You know. But I have to. I'm not just picking people off the street to cook me food. You know.
Okay.
So I'm not going to stop my life because of one incident.
Okay. Well, once again, man, shout out to you, bro, for coming on and telling your story. I really appreciate it. You have very interesting background, very interesting story, bro. Keep living how you living, brother. Enjoy yourself, man. I know you're enjoying it out there in Colombia, and we might do a show again one day, man. Appreciate you coming on, bro.
And thank you for having me.
All right, peace.
Okay.
Great show.
Mm-hmm.